Ladies and gentlemen, let me share something simple, because simple things are often the most powerful. If you want the next year to change, you must change how you think, how you act, and how you manage your attention. And it begins with two decisions: focus on yourself and stay silent. Most people talk too much about what they are going to do. They announce their plans, explain their struggles, and defend their excuses. But progress doesn't need an audience. Growth doesn't require applause. The quiet seasons are where the strongest foundations are built. Your results in life will never exceed the level of the person you become, and this simple truth is often overlooked. Most people spend so much time looking for shortcuts, chasing external achievements, or hoping circumstances will improve. But the reality is that nothing changes until the person changes first. The most successful individuals, the ones who create lasting impact, are those who understand that personal growth is the foundation of every accomplishment. Growth is not a one-time event. It is a deliberate daily practice. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every thought you challenge, and every habit you cultivate adds to your capacity to achieve. If you want to see extraordinary results in your work, your relationships, or your health, you must start by becoming extraordinary yourself. Growth demands patience, because transformation does not happen overnight. It is not flashy, and it is not immediate. It requires showing up consistently, even when the results are invisible. Most people fail because they stop investing in themselves too soon, expecting quick fixes rather than embracing the slow process that builds lasting strength. The key is to focus on the areas that will compound over time, not the distractions that provide temporary satisfaction. You can read a book or take a course and feel enlightened for a day, but unless you apply what you learn and allow it to shape your actions, your knowledge is meaningless. Personal growth is about turning knowledge into action and action into results. It is about stepping into uncomfortable situations because growth does not happen in comfort zones. Every challenge you face, every difficulty you endure, every mistake you learn from, is shaping you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable person. If you are not growing internally, no amount of external effort will lead to meaningful success. When you focus on becoming better, more disciplined, and more resilient, your results will naturally follow. The world responds to your capacity, not your effort alone. You can work hard, but without personal development, your energy may be wasted on the wrong pursuits. Growth expands your ability to make better decisions, to seize opportunities, and to influence others positively. It strengthens your mindset so that obstacles no longer derail you and failures no longer define you. By committing to daily improvement, you are investing in the only asset that truly appreciates over time: yourself. The person you become determines the quality of your results, the depth of your relationships, and the impact you leave on the world. Every skill you master, every habit you refine, and every insight you gain increases your potential exponentially. Success is not a matter of luck or timing. It is a direct reflection of your growth as an individual. Those who achieve great things are not necessarily smarter or more talented. They are committed to continuous self-improvement. The path to extraordinary results starts with a decision to invest in yourself, to prioritize personal growth above temporary pleasures, and to embrace the process of becoming the kind of person who can create the life you desire. Silence is often misunderstood. Many think silence is weakness, hesitation, or fear, but the truth is that silence is a mark of strength and self-control. When you choose silence, you are choosing to protect your energy, your focus, and your progress. In a world filled with constant noise, endless opinions, and distractions at every turn, the person who masters silence gains a power few others can access. Speaking unnecessarily, reacting to every comment, or explaining yourself constantly drains your energy and scatters your focus. Silence allows you to conserve that energy and invest it where it matters most, into actions that build your future. Powerful silence is about choosing when to act and when to speak, understanding that not every situation requires your voice. Many people waste years of their lives reacting to negativity, defending their choices, or trying to prove themselves to others. They announce their goals, explain their struggles, and constantly seek validation, forgetting that results do not require explanation. By staying silent, you create space to observe, reflect, and make better decisions. Silence teaches patience because you are not rushing to respond to every trigger or impulse. It allows you to think clearly, to see opportunities that others overlook, and to move deliberately toward your goals. It also builds resilience because when you are not swayed by criticism, judgment, or gossip, your confidence strengthens internally rather than relying on external approval. Silence is a shield that protects your focus from the distractions and drama that derail so many people. While others are talking, speculating, or complaining, you are working, learning, and growing quietly. And that work compounds over time into extraordinary results. Powerful silence does not mean isolation or avoidance. It means choosing your battles wisely and investing your energy in ways that produce tangible outcomes. It means understanding that your words are most effective when they are backed by action, and that results speak louder than explanations ever could. By staying silent, you also cultivate self-discipline because controlling your words requires controlling your impulses and emotions. It is easy to react. It is hard to pause, observe, and act intentionally. Silence creates clarity because without the noise of constant conversation or distraction, you can hear your own thoughts, understand your own priorities, and align your actions with your purpose. It allows you to listen more carefully, learn more effectively, and respond more strategically. People who master silence understand that the world is full of those who speak without producing results, and that true influence comes not from being heard, but from being effective. By staying silent, you let your work, your character, and your achievements communicate your value. You remove the temptation to justify yourself to the wrong people, to explain your decisions to those who do not understand, and to waste energy on matters that do not serve your goals. Silence is the secret weapon of focused, high-achieving individuals because it allows them to protect what is most valuable: their attention, their growth, and their results. Distractions and negativity are two of the biggest thieves of success. Every day, there are countless things that try to pull you off your path. Opinions that do not serve you, people who do not support your goals, social media that consumes your attention, and endless noise that clouds your focus. The moment you allow yourself to react to everything around you, you give away control of your life. The key to achieving greatness is learning to say no to anything that does not directly contribute to your growth. Avoiding distractions is not about being distant or disconnected from life. It is about protecting your energy and using it wisely. Every time you respond to negativity, you divert energy from building your dreams to feeding someone else's drama. Every time you chase validation from others, you delay your own progress. Not all advice, opinions, or criticisms deserve a response. Some people speak from fear, jealousy, or misunderstanding, and engaging with them will only slow your journey. The stronger you become at tuning out unnecessary noise, the clearer your path becomes. Focus is like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you use it. When you deliberately choose where your attention goes, you increase your ability to act with purpose and precision. Negativity can be subtle or obvious, but it always drains you. It comes in the form of doubt from others, toxic relationships, or even self-limiting beliefs you allow to fester. The moment you start paying attention to every negative voice, you are feeding a cycle that diminishes your potential. Instead, focus on what you can control: your actions, your learning, your habits, and your mindset. Build routines that strengthen you. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you positively. And deliberately remove influences that weaken your drive. Avoiding distractions also means avoiding the temptation to constantly explain yourself. Many people waste time defending their choices, justifying their decisions, or seeking permission to act. The truth is that results do not require validation. Not your actions will speak for themselves. When you focus on what matters and ignore what doesn't, momentum builds. Progress becomes inevitable because your energy is concentrated and your attention undivided. You begin to notice opportunities that others miss because they are too busy reacting to the noise around them. You begin to create results that speak louder than words ever could. Avoiding negativity and distractions is not a temporary effort. It is a lifelong practice. Every decision you make about where to place your attention either strengthens your focus or weakens it. The people you spend time with, the media you consume, the thoughts you allow to dominate your mind, all of these shape your reality. To achieve extraordinary results, you must become deliberate about your environment, your associations, and your internal dialogue. Protecting your attention is the greatest gift you can give yourself because it is the foundation for every success, every relationship, and every accomplishment. When distractions are removed and negativity is ignored, your mind becomes a powerful tool capable of creating the life you truly desire. Success is not created in moments of grand spectacle. It is built quietly, consistently, and deliberately over time. Most people look for quick results, expecting extraordinary achievements to come from sudden inspiration or lucky breaks. But the truth is that lasting success is the product of small, repeated actions done with discipline and purpose. Every habit you cultivate, every task you complete, and every skill you refine contributes to a foundation that will carry you forward when challenges arise. Quiet consistency is often invisible in the short term, but over weeks, months, and years, it compounds into results that are impossible to ignore. The key is to focus on the daily routines that matter most, even when no one is watching or applauding. Early mornings spent learning, evenings spent refining a craft, and moments spent improving yourself without external recognition are the building blocks of extraordinary achievement. Success favors those who are willing to do what is necessary, even when it is difficult, inconvenient, or unnoticed. It is the person who reads while others scroll, who practices when others rest, and who prepares when others procrastinate, who eventually rises above the competition. Habits are the silent architects of our future. What you do consistently shapes the person you become and determines the results you achieve. Many people underestimate the power of small actions, thinking they are insignificant, yet it is these very actions that compound to create unstoppable momentum. The beauty of quiet, consistent effort is that it protects you from the volatility of external validation and the distraction of comparison. When you focus on your own process and commit to improvement every day, you build resilience and confidence that cannot be shaken by failure or criticism. Results may take time to appear, but they are inevitable for those who refuse to give up on the fundamentals. Discipline becomes a habit habits become routines, and routines become the framework upon which success is built. Every task completed with care, every commitment kept to yourself, and every extra effort invested adds to the cumulative effect that eventually transforms your life. It is the accumulation of small, intentional steps that leads to breakthroughs, not sudden leaps or dramatic gestures. Those who seek recognition too soon often abandon the process before it produces results. They mistake visibility for progress and applause for achievement. True success is quiet because it is grounded in reality, in effort, and in preparation, not in perception or opinion. Consistency in action, clarity in purpose, and patience in execution are the qualities that distinguish high achievers from everyone else. Over time, the quiet work becomes undeniable. The effort becomes visible, and the results speak louder than words ever could. Every day presents an opportunity to invest in yourself and your goals through deliberate, consistent action. By committing to daily improvement, you create a rhythm that becomes unstoppable, a momentum that cannot be replicated by shortcuts or luck, and a foundation that supports growth in every area of your life. Success is the natural outcome of dedication to your process, attention to detail, and persistence in building habits that elevate you above the ordinary. Measuring your progress privately is one of the most powerful habits you can develop because it keeps you focused on the person you are becoming rather than the noise around you. Too often, people compare themselves to others, looking at someone else's success and feeling discouraged or pressured to rush their own journey. Comparison is a thief of joy and a killer of momentum. Every person has their own path, their own timeline, and their own set of challenges. The only meaningful benchmark is who you were yesterday. Progress is personal, and it cannot be defined by external standards, applause, or recognition. When you track your growth privately, you create clarity. You see where you started. You recognize the small victories along the way, and you can adjust your actions to stay aligned with your goals. This quiet accountability develops discipline because you are committed to improvement even when no one is watching. Many people work hard for the praise of others, but praise is fleeting, unreliable, and outside your control. When you focus on private progress, your motivation comes from within. You learn to value effort over recognition, action over opinion, and growth over approval. Measuring progress privately also teaches patience. Change does not happen overnight, and transformation is often invisible in the early stages. When you track results quietly, you can celebrate the incremental improvements that compound over time into remarkable achievements. You begin to understand that every step, no matter how small, is part of a larger journey toward excellence. This approach also shields you from discouragement caused by outside expectations or comparisons. Others may be ahead in some areas, but they are not living your life, walking your path, or facing your challenges. What matters is that you are moving forward consistently, investing in yourself, and aligning your actions with your long-term vision. Private progress fosters resilience because it focuses on process over outcome. You become more concerned with daily effort, learning from mistakes and refining your approach rather than fixating on immediate results. You stop seeking shortcuts, quick wins, or external validation, and instead commit to doing the work that builds lasting success. When you measure progress privately, you also cultivate self-trust. You keep promises to yourself, follow through on your goals, and develop confidence in your ability to create change. This self-trust becomes the foundation for taking bigger risks, making better decisions, and pursuing opportunities that align with your growth. It builds internal momentum that cannot be shaken by criticism, setbacks, or the unpredictability of external circumstances. Private measurement creates a powerful internal feedback loop where every effort is noticed, every lesson is learned, and every improvement compounds over time. It teaches you to value consistency over visibility, discipline over recognition, and results over perception. By focusing on yourself and your own progress, you build the kind of resilience, confidence, and momentum that leads to extraordinary success without being distracted by what everyone else is doing. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement, and committing to it consistently is what separates ordinary results from extraordinary success. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is the steady force that carries you forward even when you don't feel like moving. Every time you choose to do what needs to be done, even when it is uncomfortable or inconvenient, you are strengthening your character and building the foundation for lasting success. Most people wait for the perfect moment, the right feeling, or external encouragement, but life does not wait. Success favors those who act despite fear, hesitation, or doubt. Discipline is about showing up for yourself every day, keeping promises you make to yourself, and honoring the small actions that others often overlook. It is waking up early to work on your craft, putting in the hours to develop skills, and maintaining focus when distractions are everywhere. It is doing what is necessary even when it is not glamorous or rewarding in the short term. The person who masters discipline learns the value of consistency because small efforts repeated over time create massive results. Skipping a day, giving in to convenience, or avoiding responsibility may feel harmless in the moment, but these small lapses compound into stagnation and missed opportunity. Discipline also builds self-respect, because when you follow through on your commitments, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, capable, and worthy of your goals. This internal confidence becomes the foundation for taking risks, facing challenges, and pursuing opportunities that others might shy away from. Discipline teaches control over impulses, emotions, and habits. It allows you to resist short-term gratification in favor of long-term gain, to prioritize growth over comfort, and to stay focused on your vision even when the world is noisy or distracting. The practice of discipline develops mental toughness, helping you endure setbacks without giving up and remain consistent in the face of adversity. It is through discipline that ordinary people achieve extraordinary outcomes, because it transforms intentions into actions and ideas into results. Every small, disciplined choice contributes to momentum, compounding over time into breakthroughs that would seem impossible to those who lack structure. Those who rely solely on motivation are vulnerable because motivation is unpredictable, fluctuating with mood, circumstance, or external events. Discipline, on the other hand, is a habit, a decision to act regardless of feelings, and a commitment to process rather than outcome. It creates freedom because the more disciplined you become, the less you are controlled by emotions, distractions, or impulsive behavior. It also develops resilience because disciplined individuals learn to push through challenges, maintain focus, and trust in their consistent efforts. The daily practice of discipline strengthens character, sharpens focus, and builds the confidence needed to take on greater responsibilities. It allows you to cultivate habits that align with your long-term goals, to consistently improve your skills, and to make progress even when the results are not immediately visible. Discipline is the engine of achievement, turning potential into performance, dreams into reality, and effort into tangible results. By committing to discipline over fleeting motivation, you ensure that your actions are intentional, consistent, and aligned with the person you want to become. Commitment is the invisible force that turns dreams into reality, and it is more important than fleeting motivation, talent, or circumstance. Motivation will spark action, but it is commitment that sustains it day after day, especially when the excitement fades and the challenges arise. Every person who achieves extraordinary results does so because they made a decision to show up consistently, to honor their goals, and to push forward regardless of obstacles. Commitment is not a feeling, it is a choice. It requires you to take responsibility for your actions, to refuse excuses, and to keep moving even when the path is difficult. Most people fail not because they lack talent, knowledge, or opportunity, but because they stop before the process is complete. They wait for perfect conditions or rely on motivation to carry them, and when it inevitably wanes, so does their effort. True commitment means acting even when you do not feel like it, trusting the process even when results are invisible, and staying disciplined even when distractions are everywhere. It is the quiet, persistent decision to focus on what matters most and to invest your energy where it produces the greatest impact. Commitment also builds resilience because it forces you to confront challenges head on. You begin to see obstacles not as reasons to quit, but as opportunities to grow, learn, and adapt. The more you practice commitment, the stronger your confidence becomes, because you realize that you can rely on yourself to follow through, to overcome difficulties, and to maintain progress under pressure. It transforms your mindset from reactive to proactive, from dependent on circumstances to driven by purpose. Commitment creates momentum because repeated action builds habit, and habit compounds into results. Every choice to keep going, to do the hard work, and to honor your responsibilities strengthens the chain of progress that moves you closer to your goals. Those who rely on short bursts of motivation are vulnerable to setbacks, delays, and distractions. Those who rely on commitment become unstoppable because their persistence is not dependent on how they feel or external conditions. Commitment also aligns your actions with your values and vision. It forces you to clarify what truly matters, to prioritize effectively, and to make decisions that reinforce your goals. It develops integrity because you learn to keep promises to yourself, to honor your intentions, and to act consistently over time. Commitment strengthens discipline because it requires regular effort and repetition. It transforms your daily routines into powerful tools for growth, ensuring that small, consistent actions produce long-term results. It teaches patience because you begin to understand that meaningful change takes time, and that the cumulative effect of steady effort is far greater than any single dramatic action. Commitment is what allows you to rise above setbacks, ignore distractions, and maintain focus on your vision. It turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers, ordinary effort into remarkable results, and ordinary plans into fulfilled potential. The person who commits fully does not wait for opportunities to appear. They create them. They do not hope for the right moment. They make the moment right. They do not rely on luck. They rely on consistent action, responsibility. 講嘢係開始主要人啊，啲老闆啊，我哋邊包到啊，好多啊嘛，啲老闆幫手啊，我撈啊，到啲人個多包啊，到好多。